My parents sent a group message. We're giving your trust fund to your sister. She has kids, you don't. I simply replied, okay. When they discovered what I'd done with the money 3 months ago, the text came while I was at my tattoo shop, inking a client's sleeve. My hands didn't even shake as I read it. Chris, we're giving your inheritance to Hannah. She's a single mom, needs it more than you. I'd been expecting this since Hannah moved back home with her 2 kids after her divorce. Golden child Hannah, who never worked a day but somehow deserved everything. What they didn't know? 3 months ago, I'd already withdrawn my entire trust fund, $800,000, after overhearing Dad tell Mom, Chris will just waste it on his stupid tattoo business anyway. That night, I drove to the worst neighborhood in town and bought a condemned building. Cash. No questions asked. For 3 months, I'd been secretly renovating it during my shop's off hours. Turned it into a community center with free after-school programs, art classes, and meals for kids whose parents couldn't afford them. The grand opening was tomorrow. Local news was coming. The mayor would be there, and I'd hung a huge banner out front. The Reynolds Family Community Center, funded by Chris Reynolds in honor of kids who deserve better. My phone started buzzing. Hannah first. Chris, don't be dramatic about this. I actually need the money. Then Mom, your father and I think you're being selfish. Call us back. I screenshot their messages and posted them on the community center's Facebook page I'd created. Sometimes family disappoints you, but this community won't disappoint these kids. The post went viral overnight. Local businesses started donating. People shared their own stories of family betrayal. By morning, my parents were calling nonstop. I finally answered, Chris, people are calling us horrible parents. Mom cried. Funny how that works, I said, watching kids through my shop window, already gathering for tomorrow's opening. We didn't know about your center, Dad pleaded. You never asked what I did with my money. Just assumed I'd waste it. But Hannah needs to get a job. These kids need hope. I hung up and turned back to my client. Where were we? The next day, over 200 people showed up. Kids painting murals, parents crying, news cameras rolling. My parents arrived halfway through, looking mortified as reporters asked about their son's generous donation. Hannah stood behind them, realizing her meal ticket just funded something she couldn't touch. The reporter approached me. Chris, what inspired this incredible gift to the community? I looked directly at the camera, then at my parents. My grandmother always said money reveals character. She left that trust fund to see what we'd do with it. My father's face went pale. What do you mean? I smiled, pulling out my phone. She also left a letter with her lawyer. Should I read it? The crowd gathered closer as I opened the email I'd been saving for this moment. If my grandson Chris uses his inheritance to help others, he gets the real inheritance. The family business property's worth $15 million. If he's selfish, it goes to charity. Hannah's jaw dropped. Business properties? What business properties? The ones Grandma never told you about, I said. The rental empire she built. The properties you thought were just old buildings. My parents looked sick. We thought we were teaching you responsibility by giving the money to Hannah. You were. You taught me that blood doesn't make family. Character does. The lawyer stepped forward with documents. Chris, congratulations. As of today, you own 17 commercial properties across the city. Hannah started crying. This isn't fair. I have kids to feed, and now they'll have a community center to grow up in, I said. Thanks to the trust fund you thought you were getting. The best part? The viral Facebook post brought in $50,000 in additional donations that first week. My parents spent months trying to rebuild their reputation. Hannah had to get her first real job at 34, and I kept tattooing, running my community center, and managing my newfound real estate empire. Turns out Grandma knew exactly what she was doing. The last text I got from Hannah was 3 months later. I hate you. I replied, I know, but 200 kids in this neighborhood love what we built together. My parents eventually came around, especially when they saw their names on the donor wall I'd added, because sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even. It's proving them wrong while making the world better.